Russia, 1917. The Bolshevik Party are starting their revolution to take over the country. This was the start of one of the many totalitarian dictatorships in the 20th century. The Soviet Union, within the time period of 1917 to 1941, was certainly considered totalitarian. But what exactly is totalitarianism? A totalitarian dictatorship is when a party or an individual has total control over the country's military, economy, ideology, foreign affairs, and society. Totalitarianism usually involves a single party with a charismatic leader following a very specific ideology. The most prominent example of this would be the Soviet Union under Stalin, where he had total authority over everything from society to military by the year 1929. You would think in a governmental system such as Communist Russia under Stalin, the people would be sick and tired of the terrorization and the totalitarianism that they would rise up and cause major protests, right? However, the Bolsheviks had this under control. The Soviet rule was harsh. They used the threat of gulags and secret police to keep the population under control. By using terror and repression, they had control over the people.
As said by historian Fedor Skokpol,
Soviet citizens at all levels of society were subjected to secret police surveillance and were constantly subject to possible arrest for real or imagined infractions, often followed by long, indeed indeterminate sentences to forced labor camps.
the extent that infamous dictator Joseph Stalin went through to maintain internal security led to the atrocities that took place. Millions starved in Ukraine, many more millions were sent to labor camps where they would spend multiple years working, however, many didn't return. Another method Stalin used to enforce totalitarianism was his creation and promotion of the Stalin cult. He abused the indoctrination of the masses to create a society where he was the supreme and only viable leader. The cult of Stalin was so successful due to it being able to leach into everyday life, making it seem inescapable to many. The Stalin cult was taught in schools, there were cities named after him, there were pictures of him everywhere. This factor, as well as the terror and repression, is why Stalin was able to be such a successful dictator. As shown in the Soviet Union, totalitarianism has great consequences within a country. Within most cases, totalitarianism is without consent from the people. It only emerges from manipulation of power or an already bad situation. Basically, the Soviet Union, when they got rid of the bad government, the Tsar, and replaced it with a worse one, the Bolsheviks. Within a totalitarian state, the use of terror and repression is usually present. This is because people don't want to be dictated on, they want free will, but the government forces them by using terror tools such as secret police and gulags. Throughout history, it has been shown that with a totalitarian government, an extreme ideology comes with it. In the Soviet Union, there is Stalin. In Germany, there is Hitler. In Japan, there is Hirohito. And in Italy, there is the infamous Benito Mussolini. All of these dictators gained their popularity from an ideology which is powerful and easy to jump on the bandwagon with. Within the Soviet Union, the people were subjugated to the 5-year plan. It included the rapid industrialization of the country, mostly through the means of forced labor inside of their labor camps, also known as gulags. Totalitarianism led to a harsh environment where the people of the country were faced with limited rights, where they had to do what the government said, no exceptions. The people were expected to work unfairly with limited rights to do anything about it. Even to this day, the people within Russia and the former Soviet territories still suffer from the lasting impacts that these infamous totalitarian dictators had on these countries.
Please like and subscribe for more Terrence vlogs and more content.